Hi. Hey. It feels like it's been a while. I know I probably recorded a video recently, but I guess it was maybe like a couple weeks ago. I don't even know. Time feels so slippery right now. It has always felt slippery, but but it feels particularly slippery at this time. I would like to share with you an update. So this video is a little update on how the offerings for Light Goddess are shifting this year. And um how I want to show up for you. I want to show up for you as the real me. I want to show up for you sharing what has come through for me through the astrology and really deliver that to you in a way that feels in alignment with my purpose. I want to be showing up on purpose with you. And I was really getting the message that it is time for us to show up together. And so the moon magic is shifting from a recording that will be delivered to your inbox to an invitation to show up in a Zoom session so that we can talk about the current astrological weather and so that we can set intentions together and be with each other. The intentions will be inspired by the new and the full moon of that month, and it will be somewhat similar to what we have done this past year with regard to the intention setting. And moon magic ritual kits will still include things like crystals inspired by the current celestial weather, as well as self-care items inspired by them. And I am really just super, super looking forward to gathering with you, even though it is virtual. It feels very good to me to come into a space together where we have this container of safety and trust, and we're setting a standard of showing up authentically, but also allowing ourselves to be as quiet or as internal as feels right to us. So when we gather, you are not required to speak and openly or overtly participate. You could be in a receiving state where you log in and you listen, but you were also invited to come in and bring your questions, because what else is part of this offering that I am shifting with this year is the astrological forecast that will be available for instant download. If you purchase online, you could purchase once, but for the Moon Magic subscribers, the forecast for the month will be emailed to you in text format, and then we'll be able to, in lieu of pre-recorded videos, we'll be gathering salon style, gathering to be together and talk about it. And you may have questions about plans that you are making and or how it is affecting you. You may want to get into some questions about the astrology. And I'm really excited to hear from you what types of questions you have or what's coming up for you as we experience this astrological weather. Okay. So no more step-by-step ceremony instructions. In lieu of that, we will be setting intention. Mercury retrograde in Aquarius, and I am fucked up. But I'm doing my best. I have this to share with you. It's ready to be shared. Okay, so we'll be setting intentions, and those intentions will be inspired by the new and the full moon and other important celestial happenings. We will be coming into the space together after we answer questions and talk about the astrology. We'll tune in together in a way that feels good. And again, you can just be in receipt or you can participate. I'll probably read a prayer, probably the same one every time, but maybe it'll change. And maybe other people will want to be eventually be sharing a prayer, and we'll tune in that way. I'm not sure what it'll look like. I'm just very excited for this to unfold. So astrological forecasts in your inbox every month, a Zoom invitation link to join me for the astrological conversation, the astrology salon, and then connecting in the celestial inspired intention setting as a group. I'm really looking forward to digging into that with you. I'd also like to briefly talk about some changes to the pricing structure for when I open the books. I'm opening the books to the public. It'll go live on my website on 2/2/22. I really like the numerology, and that feels like an excellent go live date. We'll see, because there'll still be another couple days left of the Mercury retrograde, but that's what I'm going for. And for my clients, for clients that I have worked with, for you receiving this, well, maybe not. This may go out to, this is probably the update that's going out to the entire mailing list, and also something that I will be sharing on YouTube. So if you have had an astrology session with me, but you didn't receive this in a newsletter in your email inbox, and you're seeing this somewhere else, you're not on my mailing list. And on my astrology client mailing list, I will be sending out an invitation to start booking your astrology sessions. Because the books have been closed for a while, I have been able to catch up. I've been able to handle some COVID related curveballs that were thrown at me that really greatly reduced my child free time. I love to be with my children. They are wonderful. It is incredibly challenging to focus on doing astrology sessions when they are in my presence. But for now, that is resolved, and I am more available. My weekends, which are primarily when I do the bulk of my work, are now open again. And I'm really excited to catch up with you. The sliding scale is something I would like to talk about here as well. I needed to get really honest with myself about some of what I was making available. I previously offered sessions to some folks at $11. And I am very excited that I was able to connect with people, and that at that time, I was receiving benefits from unemployment that were related to when I had been laid off, almost miraculously laid off. I don't know if you know my story, but I was laid off in August of 2019 and was able to spend a lot of time really sort of getting ready for what this offering I have is. And I've also had an opportunity to use my time and resources to care for my children in a way like never before. And the pandemic had a really interesting effect on my finances. And I had never been someone who had received like benefits from unemployment or the state before, but the pandemic gave me an opportunity to really continue to be supported by systems that exist for the well-being of the people. And it was humbling, disturbing, weird, but during that time period, I was able to offer, because my financial needs were met at a certain baseline by this money that was coming in due to the unemployment that was available for caregivers who were home with their kids as when the schools were closed, right? So it's just been wild. I've never seen myself as the kind of person who would be able to stay home with their children instead of being out working. But the pandemic forced that on many of us. And I'm still sort of reeling from it, and I haven't finished processing it. But one thing that is different for me, that began being different last year when those benefits ended, is that I could no longer offer sessions at $11 for folks who could benefit from that rate. And instead, I've needed to really look at what is a sustainable offering for sliding scale for me so that I'm not harming myself. Because if I'm harming myself in making that offering available, the offering itself is not clean. It's not fair. It's not right. It's the energy behind it is distorted. I've come up with something that I think makes it work in a way that allows for you to receive from me if you are using this rate. So there's a reduced rate of $44 for astrology sessions. The standard rate, which was the same as last year, is $111 for an astrology session. And then I've offered another level or another level of the fee, a higher level, which I'm calling community care. And the community care rate is $177, and it covers the balance of what remains for folks who are utilizing the reduced fee. And the way that I have structured my books and my availability is such that the pricing, if people are utilizing the different tiers in, let's say, a balanced way, then what will happen is that I'll be able to meet my needs, and I will be able to continue to offer the sliding scale rate for some of my clients. And I want to extend, excuse me, oh my gosh, I just got so tired and weird in my shoulders. It's challenging to talk about money, and it's challenging to talk about sliding scales, and it's challenging to put something like this together in a way that works. It's all the honor system as well, in terms of who is utilizing the sliding scale. You don't need to prove to me why it's only affordable for you to pay that rate right now. What I think will happen is that folks will know, does paying this rate, and let's just start at the top, does paying $177 for this session harm my quality of life? Yes, don't pay it. Go down to the next level. Does paying $111 harm my quality of life? Harm your quality of life because that is money that is needed to pay for things that you need to be well. And maybe the answer is no. So if the answer is no, then you have found that you can pay that rate, and then you pay it. And that's what you do. There's an option to pay when you book, and there's also an option to pay later. If you pay when you book, I think that it defaults to PayPal, although I think it should also be taking credit cards at this time. I'll make sure that that is functional. You can also pay via Venmo, PayPal, or Zelle or Cash App. I have many different options. If you haven't received your Zoom invitation to get on to your session, it's because you didn't pay the fee yet. So in order to reserve your spot and get that session, make the payment. Okay, so let's say that $111 you're reviewing, does it harm your quality of life? And the answer is yes. Then $44 is the next amount to check in with. And if $44 harms your quality of life at this time, then it is probably not a good fit for us to have an astrology session. And if there is something that you feel like would be a good offering for a trade between us, but you don't have the cash available, that's something to consider as well. I am open to doing trades, and we just need to talk about whether or not what you have to share is something that does feel valuable to me. And who knows what that will be? I've done a variety of things. So please feel open to taking your time and figuring out where and how this fits for you, if it fits for you when you're booking a session. I think that's it. Okay, if you're a Moon Magic subscriber, please watch the next video. It is our full moon video and the last of the pre-recorded videos for Moon Magic. Thank you. Bye.